Right, so I'm going to break down what I earn from my full-time job of being a junior doctor in the UK's National Health Service, alongside with a breakdown of 5 different sources of passive income. But before I talk about the numbers, there are 2 main reasons for doing this video. The first one is to get views, because this is a juicy topic and I hope it'll get views. But secondly, and far more importantly, over the last few years, as I've really gotten into this entrepreneurship, passive income, financial independence stuff, I've benefited enormously from people on the internet being open and transparent about their income and their revenue. People like Pat Flynn and Graham Stephan and Mr. Money Mustache and the indie hackers community, links to all that down below. Seeing real people sharing real numbers has really inspired me over the years to do a lot of the things that I'm now doing today. And so if even a tiny proportion of people watching this video, instead of thinking, wow, look at this guy, he's a twat for sharing these numbers publicly, instead of thinking that, if I can inspire even a small number of people to just kind of take the first steps down this journey of passive income, financial independence, then this video will have been worth it, and hopefully I'll get some views along the way. So that's my virtue signaling over. Let's get into the juicy details now. So these are all the real numbers from Monday, the 23rd of March, 2020 through to Sunday of that week. And let's start with my full-time job of being a junior doctor. So I work for the UK's National Health Service at a hospital in Bury St Edmunds, which is a town in the east of England. And I'm on the obstetrics and gynecology placement at the moment. And my annual salary is round about £38,000 a year. I am sort of in the equivalent of my intern year. If you're familiar with the American system, I'm not quite a resident yet, but I'm a doctor, so I'm sort of like an intern. And looking at my payslip, which you will see over here, the hourly rate is about £15.36 an hour. So as you can see, each month I work 173 basic hours and 25 hours out of hours, which comes out to £3,054.76. And then because I work around 1 in every 3 weekends, I get a bit extra for that. So that's around about £200 a month. So the total comes to £3,255.07. So if we break that down kind of in this week, let's start with the Monday. And on the Monday, I worked a normal day shift, which is 8 o'clock in the morning through to 5 o'clock in the evening, which is 9 hours in total. So 9 times £15.36 is £138.24. So that is like my daily standard wage. But of course, all of these numbers are way before tax and national insurance and NHS pension contributions and student loans and all the other kind of stuff. I'll just be talking about the top line revenue rather than the post-tax versions of that, because, you know, tax varies in different countries. So that's the active component of my income. Let's now talk about 6 sources of passive income, and I kind of break it down kind of day by day. So the first one to mention is YouTube AdSense revenue. Now, you know those 5-second ads that you see before most videos on YouTube? Essentially, anytime someone watches one of those ads, YouTube pays a bit of money to the person who made the video. And so on Monday, the 23rd of March, I made £95.66 from AdSense views. And that was because I had 97,723 views on the Monday, which is around about £1 per 1,000 views. And I'll explain a bit more about how AdSense works as we go through the week. But so far, doctor income and AdSense income. The next thing is Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is an online platform. It's like Netflix for online courses. And the way you make money on Skillshare as a teacher, it's sort of like Spotify streaming royalties. So essentially, anytime someone watches one of my online classes on Skillshare, so far I've got 2 as of the time of recording this video, anytime people watch those, I get paid for every minute of premium watch time. So for every minute someone with a premium Skillshare account watches the videos. And so on Monday, I had 3,086 premium minutes of watch time. And actually at the time, Monday the 23rd of March, I only had 1 class on Skillshare. This was a class, well, it is a class, you can watch it if you want, about how to edit videos in Final Cut Pro from beginner to YouTuber. So I made this class way back in September 2019, and it's been generating passive income from people watching it every day on Skillshare since then. So I had 3,086 minutes of watch time. And so on the Monday, I made $169.73 off of this 1 class that I filmed in 1 day way back in September 2019. And that has just been generating $100 plus of passive income every single day since then on. It's absolutely ridiculous if I say so myself. So that's 3 sources. The fourth one is that Skillshare have their own affiliate program. So, and essentially an affiliate program is that whenever someone signs up to something, if they sign up using a special referral link, then often the company will pay a little bit of a commission to the person who sent them through that link. So I have a Skillshare affiliate link that if anyone signs up to a free trial of Skillshare using that link, then I will make $10. And that's Skillshare standard affiliate program. I think they change the rates depending on who you are, but I'm on $10 at the moment. And on the Monday, 1 person signed up for Skillshare using my affiliate link, so I made $10 off of that. That brings us on to the 5th revenue source, and that is other affiliate deals. So I've got a few different affiliate partnerships with different different products that I like or, apps that I use. And I always declare those in videos and stuff. The biggest one for me is the Paperlike screen protector for the iPad, which I've made a few videos about, and Epidemic Sound, which is a fantastic company that provides the royalty-free music for these videos on YouTube. And so if anytime someone buys the Paperlike screen protector from my special link, or if someone signs up to Epidemic Sound using my special link, I'll make some affiliate revenue. And I've got a few others, but they're quite small compared to those two, which are reasonably big. And so on Monday, I made $123.43 off of these affiliate partnerships. And the final source of affiliate income is the Amazon Associates Affiliate Program. Now, Amazon has the world's biggest affiliate program. Essentially, you can earn between like 1 and 10% commission on all purchases made on Amazon if someone went to that product using your affiliate link. And so when I send my email newsletters out every week, you can sign up, link below. And if I recommend a book, I will put an Amazon affiliate link there because, I might as well. Or in my monthly favorites videos, if I'm recommending like a pen, that's what I talked about in my latest video, this pen, which I liked, I put an Amazon affiliate link to that pen. And if someone spends, £5 on Amazon using this link, I will make maybe 1% or 2% or 3%. And that sort of adds up if you have a very big audience or if you have an audience that buys a lot of expensive stuff. So for example, if you are a photography, videography YouTuber like Peter McKinnon, you're probably making a load of money off Amazon affiliate links because the sort of stuff that people buy clicking on your links are expensive cameras and expensive lenses and stuff. Whereas the sort of stuff people buy clicking on my links are either books. I've recommended a few books in videos and people will buy the books, or a pen or like a board game or something. So I don't make much off the Amazon affiliate links, but on Monday the 23rd, I made 20p off of the UK program and $10.49 off of the US program for a total of $10.74 on Amazon from affiliate links. So my total active income for Monday was $172.42, and my total passive income for Monday, i.e. income that wasn't directly tied to me giving up my own time, at least not directly, was $313.90. So that gives you kind of a rough idea of what the breakdown is. Let's breeze through the other days and I'll kind of expand on the bits that are relevant. So Tuesday the 24th of March, being a doctor, normal day shift, 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening, £138.24. AdSense, so on the Tuesday, I got 123,956 views, which was quite a lot more, like 30% more than I had the day before. But that was mostly through a video which got demonetized, and therefore I didn't make any money off of those. So actually I got a little bit less AdSense revenue because it's only monetizable videos that you get revenue from. So I made £94.83 on that day from AdSense, which is still not bad. If you make $100 in a day just off people watching your videos, that's pretty reasonable. Then on Skillshare, I had 2,961 minutes of watch time for a total of $162.86. There were 2 people that signed up to my Skillshare affiliate link, so that's $20. And then from my other affiliate partnerships like the Paperlike Screen Protector and Epidemic Sound, I made $118.69. And then Amazon Associates, I made absolutely nothing from people in the UK, and people in the US made me $8.15. And then there's another income source, and that is my online courses for medical applicants. So back when I was in medical school, I set up a company called SixMed, which runs classroom courses and question banks for medical school applicants, and that's been running since like 2013. That's its own company, and so I'm not going to talk about that as sort of my personal income because there are so many kind of layers of stuff that happens to that money before any of it gets to me, so we're not going to include that in this video. But a couple of years ago, I made my own online video courses for the UCAT, the BMAT, and medical school interviews, which are things that people have to do to get into med school in the UK. And on Tuesday, the 24th of March, one person signed up to the UCAT crash course, and that made me £99. There's a few other people in this business, and there's a few other sort of. It's not that I personally took home £99, but I'm including that here because it's mostly kind of my direct stuff. There's not too many other people in that business. So £99 from the UCAT crash course online, which is $123 or words to that effect. So overall, on Tuesday the 24th, my active income was $172.42, and my passive income was $551.79. Again, this is income that is not directly tied to my own time, for a total of $724.21 for Tuesday. Let's move on to Wednesday, normal working day, £138.24. YouTube AdSense wise, 96,042 views. Revenue dropped a little bit, so that's £90.52. So you can see that my CPMs, which stands for cost per meal, which is the amount of money you get paid for 1,000 views, I make about £1 per 1,000 views. It kind of varies depending on what sort of content you make. So my tech videos have much higher CPMs, maybe £5 per 1,000 views. My book videos have practically nothing CPM wise, maybe like 10 pennies per 1,000 views. It all depends on who is advertising on those videos. And the sorts of companies that advertise on tech videos for an American audience are going to have more money to spend than the sorts of companies that advertise fantasy books for a global audience. And the CPM rates kind of vary depending on where the people are from. So India, CPM rates are very low. So I have a lot of Indian viewers, maybe like 10% of the audience. Unfortunately, they don't make me much money at all because there's not many companies advertising in India and paying lots of money for it. But the 25% or so of my American audience contributes a lot to the CPMs because lots of companies want to advertise to American viewers because American viewers tend to have, on average, more money to spend on products. So that's why the CPM rates vary. And then you get people like Graham Stephan who are making videos about real estate and about how to make money online. They're getting enormous CPMs because it's finance companies advertising on those videos and they have more money than tech companies even. So that was $112.95 from YouTube AdSense. And then on Skillshare, I had 4,026 minutes of watch time for a grand total of $221.43. Nothing from Skillshare affiliates. And then the other affiliate partnerships, $164.21. And then off Amazon, I made £2.33 from the UK market and $2.12 from the American market for a total of $5.03 for a daily active income of $172.42 and passive income of $503.62 for a total of $676.04 for the Wednesday. Is this fun? Shall we keep going? So Thursday, I actually had a day off. So I'm gonna assume that I made no money that day active income wise. In reality, I'd probably just divide my annual income by 365 days. But let's say I made no income because I physically didn't go to work. But even though I didn't physically go to work, I managed to film a lot of YouTube videos. And that was the day where I released one of my iPad Pro unboxing videos. And so that overall on Thursday, the channel got 122,698 views for a total revenue of £166.09. Off of Skillshare, we got 3,959 minutes of watch time. So it seems to be hovering around between 2,000 and 4,000 for a total of $217.75. I got 2 people signing up to my Skillshare affiliate link. Thank you very much, whoever you were, for $20. And I made $187.05 off of the affiliate marketing. Amazon made $1.99 from the UK and actually lost 49 cents from the US. I think because someone canceled or asked for a refund for their order and therefore the money got docked off of me for the affiliate side of it. So overall, active income was nothing. Passive income was $634.05. All right, let's blitz through the rest. So Friday, it was a long day, 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. That was a 13-hour shift. So I made £199.68 off of that. 96,431 views on YouTube, made $150.73. 4,422 minutes of watch time on Skillshare, made $243.21. 3 people signed up to my Skillshare link, so $30 there. And then affiliate marketing, various links, $128.60. And then Amazon, nothing from the UK, but in the US, they had a good day in the US. I made $17.68 from Amazon. And then 1 person signed up to the UCAT Crash Course Online for £99. So overall, active income, $249. Passive income, $694.02. Total, $943.07 total income. Now on the weekend, it's slightly interesting because weekends are usually long day shifts. So starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, I get into work and then I leave work at 9 o'clock in the evening. So that's a 13-hour shift. But because it's a weekend, I also make a little bit more because we get a bit of a bonus for working on the weekends. So in March, I worked 2 weekends, the first weekend and the last weekend of March. And so that £200 is divided amongst those 4 days of the weekend. So I'm assuming that each day of the weekend, I made an extra £50. So overall, on the Saturday, 28th of March, I made £249.68 from work. I got 158,479 views on YouTube. I just released the iPad review video, so that got some views. And also iPad videos tend to do well on the advertiser front. So that overall, I made $264.41 off of that. Then on Skillshare, 3,937 minutes of watch time, so $216.54. 2 people signing up to Skillshare via the affiliate link, $20 there. $182.05 off of the affiliate income. And then Amazon UK, £2.95, thank you. And Amazon US, $11.91 for a total of $15.60. And then 1 person signed up to the BMAT Crash Course Online, which is another course that I offer for £99 or $123, something like that, for a total of $311.48 of active income and $765.98 of passive income, for a total record-breaking for the week, $1,077.46 of total income for the Saturday. And finally, Sunday, £249.68, because it's the same as a Saturday for work. 127,996 views on YouTube, which made $208.96. 3,500 minutes of watch time on Skillshare makes $197. 2 people signing up to Skillshare Premium from my link, $20, $191.79 of affiliate income, and £7.01 from the UK Amazon, and only $3.47 off of the US buyers. Clearly, people in the US were not shopping on Amazon through my links on the Sunday, for a total of $12.24. So active income, $311.48. Passive income, $630.33. Total, $941. So let's now kind of break down some of these totals. So in total, in this week, I worked in my job as a doctor for 63 hours. And if we take the weekend bonus into account, that's an overall hourly rate of £17.67 an hour, which is roughly about $20 an hour, which is what I earn as a junior doctor working in the UK. A lot of people comment on my videos being like, how do you earn so little if you're a doctor? And you're probably thinking of American doctors. American doctors, once they're fully qualified, once they're attendings, once they've done their 3 or 4 years of residency, earn on average 4 times as much as UK doctors. So a consultant, which is the highest level of doctor in the UK, which you tend to get to after the age of about 35. A consultant doctor in the UK starts off at around about, I think, 70 or 80,000 pounds, which is, let's say, around about $100,000. But the median income of US doctors is about $400,000, depending on which specialty you're doing. And if you do more and more work, you can, doctors in the US can make over $1 million a year just off of their doctor stuff. It's quite hard to do that in the UK. We have a very nice national health service. It's a state-run healthcare system. Unless you're really deep into private practice, it's really hard to make a lot of money as a doctor in the UK. I don't think anyone's complaining. Like, $100,000 as a doctor in the UK is still huge. The median salary across the population in the UK is, I think, about £21,000. So what's that? $26,000. So, doctors still earn a lot more than the average person in the UK, but it's just nowhere near what you can earn in the US. Anyway, so that was 63 hours of work for £1,113, but it takes me an hour to drive back and forth from work. And so I had 12 hours of travel time. And if we include that, my real hourly rate becomes £14.85 an hour before tax. It's pretty reasonable. It's my day job. But the non-active sources of income in my life overall far outweigh this now. And that is a place where I have always kind of wanted to get to, but always never really thought realistically that I would get there, even though I've kind of been trying for the last kind of 5 years to kind of build up these different sources of passive income. And I'm going to talk about the totals and share some tips for getting started if you're still watching and you're into this sort of stuff. But before we do so, I want to mention that there is one sort of important source of income that I haven't really mentioned, and that is from sponsored videos. So, for example, if I'm doing a video exactly like this one, I might say that this video is kindly sponsored by Brilliant. Brilliant is a fantastic online courses platform where you can learn maths, science, and computer science courses, and they're absolutely amazing. If you're interested in starting out on your own kind of passive income entrepreneurship type journey, one thing that I'd really recommend genuinely is learning how to code. It was because I learned how to code in when I was 12, 13 in secondary school, and that's what we call high school in the UK. And I used to do little jobs for small businesses. That's how I made pocket money when I was a teenager. And then it was because I knew how to code that I was able to set up my business 6med in 2013. And through that sort of snowballed into so many different things. And so learning how to code is, in my opinion, one of the very useful things that you can do with your time, especially if you're in lockdown at the moment, whenever you're watching this video and you've got nothing else to do. Learning how to code is a very useful thing you can do with your time. And on Brilliant, there is a fantastic Introduction to Computer Science course that teaches you all about the fundamentals of programming and the algorithms and how they work. And they've also got a really good Introduction to Python course, and Python is the world's most popular programming language. So you should definitely check that out at brilliant.org/Ali. And the first 200 people to go on that link will get 20% off the annual premium subscription. So messages like that are sponsored messages within videos, and the company would pay me a certain amount that I'm not allowed to disclose for including that sponsorship message in this video. And in the video description, you will find that link, brilliant.org/Ali. And depending on how many people click on that, the company will be able to track what the kind of return on investment is of this particular plug. And in general, if enough people click on that link, then they will continue to sponsor my videos. So if you're interested in learning how to code or anything else, math, science, computer science, Brilliant is great. Click on that link, help me out. But that's a source of revenue that I haven't mentioned here, because often companies will put a stipulation that you're not allowed to disclose how much they're paying you for sponsorships. Those numbers can vary. For example, Casey Neistat, who's a huge YouTuber with 10 million plus subscribers, he said publicly that for each sponsorship deal, he makes somewhere between $10,000 and $100,000 per video. And some deals, he gets even more than $100,000 per video. I am a fraction of the size of Casey Neistat, but it gives you an idea of what sort of money people on YouTube can make with sponsorship deals, which can be quite lucrative. Let's talk about the totals. So in total, the YouTube AdSense revenue was £947. Now, I think a few months ago, I made a video breaking down how much I spend in a week. And the total for that was £701, or how much is that? $879. I spend $879 a week, and that includes my mortgage payment, bills, food, electricity, car insurance, all the various apps that I pay for, loads of different things. And I make more money than that off of YouTube AdSense. And there's all these articles on the internet about how not many people on YouTube make a living. But if you can get to a certain size, if you can get a certain number of views reliably, and you can keep on churning out the videos, which means that those videos get more views, but then also your older videos are more likely to get views. You're sitting on this really interesting source of revenue, because YouTube is one of the very few platforms where we as the creators make money, but you as the audience don't have to pay for anything. Like, it's such a good business model where there's value being exchanged on all fronts. Hopefully you're getting some kind of value from this video, and hopefully I'm getting some kind of value from this video as well, with the ad rates, although I'm not sure how high they're going to be on this video. And you don't have to pay a penny for it, which is absolutely fantastic. It's the advertiser that's paying for it, and usually they'll target the ad in a way that means that it's actually a product that you want. So it's really fun becoming a YouTuber. It's very doable. Yes, it takes lots and lots of time and effort and hard work to kind of get there, and obviously there was a load of luck involved. I'm not taking credit for anything that I've done on YouTube. It's been a lucky break that I got, and I didn't really squander it, and I was able to just churn out the videos week in, week out. I've basically been making at least one, if not two, sometimes three videos a week for the last almost 3 years without really missing a week as such. And so if you're willing to put in that level of kind of consistency, then you can get to a level where YouTube income can quite easily fund your lifestyle. And by easily, I mean obviously it takes ages to build up. And at the start, I made no money on YouTube, and then I was making a few cents a day on YouTube, and then I was making maybe $100 a month, and then I was making maybe $500 a month. But now I'm making, what is this? Between $3,000 and $4,000 a month off of YouTube AdSense alone. And that can fund my lifestyle pretty much indefinitely. And so this is a great position to be in. If you're thinking of starting YouTube, then absolutely go for it. I'll put some links in the video description to places that you can get started with it. The other really interesting one is Skillshare. Now, I didn't really think much about Skillshare. It's been sponsoring some of my videos, and I'd kind of taken classes on it because it's good. It's like Netflix for online courses. You just take classes on Skillshare. But I never really thought about becoming a teacher on Skillshare until a friend of mine, another creator, told me about his own classes on Skillshare and gave me a hint of how much money he was making. And I saw his Skillshare kind of revenue page. And I was like, whoa. And that made me realize that you can make a few $1,000s a month off of Skillshare with just a handful of online classes. When we're going down this whole passive income thing, really the objective is to create these multiple streams of passive income, i.e. money that isn't directly tied to your time. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by selling something online. And often the easiest things to sell online are educational materials, because if you can teach something well, then people are generally quite happy to pay for an ebook or a digital download or an online course, and they get value out of it because they're learning, especially if it's a skill that they can help them to make more money. So for example, one of the most lucrative ways to make money online is by teaching other people how to make money online. That's not really what I do. I made this course about how to edit videos if you want to become a YouTuber, and now I've made one about how to study for exams, which isn't included in this, and I'm sort of lining up lots of different Skillshare classes that I'm going to be making over the next few months. Because the absolutely beautiful thing about Skillshare is that it's got the distribution built in. I could make these online courses and sell them on my own website and charge more money for them. But because I've mostly got a student audience, I like the fact that A, they can get a 2-month free trial of Skillshare, which means they can just watch all my classes without paying a penny. And actually, it's a very reasonably priced thing. Almost anyone who's got a Netflix membership can afford $9 a month for a Skillshare membership that is objectively better for your life. I like Skillshare in that sense. And another thing that I've now been encouraging everyone to do, all the creators that I know, is, guys, the Skillshare thing is amazing. You've got to become a teacher on Skillshare because it can be so lucrative. And we all have something to teach. If you're watching this now and you're thinking, oh, I don't know what I could teach, you probably do have something. And if you don't, you can learn something and then you can teach it. Because one of the great things about being a beginner in anything is that you can then teach other beginners. You don't have to be an expert to teach other people. I was only video editing for 2 years before I made the Skillshare class. But as someone who was a YouTuber for 2 years from scratch, I probably had more of an idea of what beginners are going through than someone who was a 15-year-long professional video editor, who probably wouldn't be able to appreciate what someone who doesn't know anything about video editing actually needs to know to edit videos well. So this is something that I would encourage you. Think about what skills you can teach and what skills you can teach in order to monetize. And Skillshare is one way of doing it. Selling courses on your own website is another way. There's a few different ways, but Skillshare is the one that I like. So overall, from Skillshare, from this one class, which took me 1 day to film and took a freelancer 2 days to edit, I've made $1,428.86 this week. And that is more than my full-time job of being a doctor. I work 63 hours at work, 75 hours in total if you include travel time. And I'm making more money off of this one Skillshare class that I made 6 months ago without having to do anything at all except occasionally reply to a comment on the class discussion page. That is absolutely insane. If you told me a few years ago that this was going to be the level where I'd be at with the whole passive income thing, I'd have been like, oh my God, that sounds like the dream. Just a quick thing to add, these numbers that I've shared here are just my personal numbers from the last 6 months or so, purely just to illustrate how kind of teaching online can fit into a wider passive income strategy. On Skillshare specifically, the amount that you actually make per minute of watch time does fluctuate month to month depending on various factors. And I'll put a link in the video description to their official teacher handbook page that fully explains this. But please don't walk away from this video thinking that, oh, if I get this many minutes of watch time, I'm guaranteed this much money. There is no guarantee. It's all based on various factors. Just like with YouTube AdSense, there is no guarantee of how much money you're going to make per video. It depends on a load of things that are outside our control. But what we as teachers can do is that we can just try and make the best stuff possible that gets most people to watch it. So yeah, the thing to take away from this video shouldn't be, this is how much money I'm guaranteed to make if I start teaching online. Instead, it's purely to illustrate that teaching online can be a way to supplement your income, and Skillshare is personally my favorite platform for doing that. This whole financial independence stuff has been one of my very few goals in life ever since I first discovered it, when I first read Tim Ferriss's The 4 Hour Workweek, which is an incredible book, you should read it. And it made me realize that, I'm in medicine, which is a very traditional field. And a question that I often ask doctors and friends and stuff at work, and when I was a medical student, is if you won the lottery, would you still be a doctor? And about half of the people say no, they would leave immediately. One person that I was talking to I wouldn't say when, even said, I'd probably leave in the middle of the operation. That's how much he didn't enjoy medicine, but he had to do it because it paid the bills. So half the people that I asked, if you won the lottery, would you still be a doctor? Half of them said, no, I would just leave. The other half said, I would still be a doctor because it's fun, but I would do it part-time. Not one person in my last 6 years of asking this question to every doctor that I meet, basically, not one person has said, I would still be a doctor full-time. I sort of realized this very early on in my med school career, and I was like, okay, cool. That means that if I'm just being a doctor, I don't want to get to this point where I'm not looking forward to going to work on a Monday and I'm feeling like I'm shackled to my job that I don't necessarily enjoy full-time because I have to be in the job to pay the mortgage, to pay the bills. And that was kind of what started me on this whole idea of financial independence, that if you can decouple the amount of money you need to survive from your full-time job, that means that now when I go into work, I'm not doing it for the money because actually I'm making a lot less money from work than I am from my other stuff. I'm doing it because it's fun. Even though I'm doing the same job, just that mindset shift that I'm here because I want to be rather than because I have to be makes such a difference to my own happiness. And I think actually makes me better at treating patients because then I can smile and stuff. And I'm, perhaps I'm overselling this, but I think if you don't want to be potentially shackled to a job that you don't enjoy, and medicine is generally a pretty fulfilling career. I've got so many friends in investment banking and law and management consultancy who absolutely hate their jobs, but they need the job to pay the bills. That is the main benefit of this passive income stuff. If you can create these streams of passive income, then at that point, work becomes optional. And if you want, you can leave. If you want, you can go part-time. If you want, you can start something else. It gives you the option. Whereas not having that doesn't give you the option. So Skillshare is amazing for that. Affiliate income, total $1,095.82, which is nearly what I made. Oh no, it's a little bit less than what I made from my full-time job. Yeah, that basically involves selling products on the internet, but selling someone else's products. It's always probably better to sell your own products, but if you don't have your own product to sell yet, then you can start by selling other people's products. And one of the great things about creating content as a thing, and you should check out Gary Vaynerchuk's stuff if you haven't yet. One of the great things about creating content on the internet and giving it out for free, like I try to do on YouTube, is that when you do that, you build up an audience of people who know, like, and trust you, hopefully. And so then when you recommend a product, like genuinely, the paper-like screen protector, I absolutely love it. I've ordered one for my 12.9-inch iPad Pro. I can't stand looking at the iPad screen without the screen protector on it because it makes it feel like paper writing on it. Like, that is a genuine recommendation from me. And so people who watch my videos will see that that's a genuine recommendation and will be more likely to buy the product. Equally, Epidemic Sound. I've been using them for 3 years for my YouTube videos. I haven't used any other resource. It's just so good. It costs $15 a month, and it's fully worth it for these incredible library of copyright-free songs that I can just use on any videos that I want. It's an amazing thing. And so it's no effort at all for me to plug those because these are products that I actually use and love. Again, if you're thinking of starting down this journey of passive income, seriously consider creating content in some capacity. There are people who are making 6-7 figures off of affiliate income just from their blogs. Blogs, the vlogs with a B, these like articles on the internet where they're recommending products, because over time they've built up enough authority in that given niche from their blogging and from doing it well, that now when they sell stuff through the blog, enough people are buying it to fund their entire lifestyle and then some. So affiliate income is very interesting for that. Kind of going down to the totals, overall in this pretty standard week, my active income was $1,389.44, and my total passive income was $4,093.69. So overall in that week, I made $5,483.13. The main message of this video is that if you're seeing these numbers and you're thinking, damn, this sounds good, then I would 100% recommend you start off on your own journey of financial independence. And the 2 videos I'd recommend for that is, I've got one over here about 10 tips for entrepreneurs. If you're thinking of starting a business, that is the one to watch. I've got another video called 3 books that changed my life, about 3 books that changed my life that are all related to this whole like passive income, making money online type thing. And if you read those 3 books, you will become inspired and you will start, like, I can pretty much guarantee you will start your own path to financial independence, passive income, entrepreneurship, whatever you want to call it. So thank you so much for watching. Please click on one of these videos if you want to learn more. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.